No justice. No justice. Mr. Blake, thank you for having me, sir. It's an honor. Growing up in the mountains of North Carolina, I was taught racism. From as young as I can remember, I was told black people are violent. Black people are lazy. Black people are not as smart as white people. I remember my dad told me that black people are too lazy to work, and so they depend on welfare to live, and they sell drugs. 10 minutes after my dad said that to me, a man knocked on the door. I let him in. He handed my dad some money. My dad weighed out some marijuana and a few pills and handed it to that gentleman. And then we went to the store to buy some groceries. We didn't buy groceries with the money that man just handed my father. It was little yellow, blue, and green food coupons. So my dad is trying to teach me that black people are drug dealers on welfare, while my dad was selling drugs out the living room, living on welfare. You see, he would tell me, son, I work very hard. I don't make enough money to provide for you kids, so that's why I sell these drugs. I just love you so much. And these food stamps, well, I pay my taxes, so I earn them. You see, the indoctrination begins at a very young age. We are taught without even knowing it, there are two Americas.
The indoctrination on racism begins at a very tender age among white folks. And there are people who always preach virtues but practice vices. Example is the father of this man who is speaking in this video. There are a lot of revelations that he will make in this video that I don't want you to go anywhere, but keep watching and listening to exactly what he has to say. Just locate the subscribe button down there, click on the subscribe button, click as well on the notification bell, and let's keep watching.
Despite marijuana use with the black community and the white community at the same rate, the black community is arrested and convicted at a rate 3 times higher than white America. There are black Americans in prison right now serving 30 and 40-year sentences for marijuana, while corporations are becoming multi-billion-dollar businesses selling marijuana. There are two Americas.
Tell them, Charlie. Tell them.
If a man broke in my house right now, and I shot that man in the back, albeit in my own house, I could not claim self-defense because I shot him in the back. But a police officer can shoot Jacob Blake in the back 7 times and still be at work. If that's okay with you, we are on different moral platforms. We are on different ethical existences if that's okay with you. There's two Americas. The America I grew up in says if you comply, everything will be okay. Well, for white America, that's true. But black America faces a very different reality. The use of force and the threat of the use of force is actually 4 times higher for police-initiated interactions. The America I grew up in will say, if you stop talking about racism, it'll go away. Well, for white America, that's true. Because as a white American, I don't have to think about my race. I'm not judged by my skin color as soon as a potential employer meets me. As soon as a loan officer meets me. As someone that's coming to appraise my home for sale, don't judge me by my skin color. As a white American, I can completely forget about my race and even racism, so long as nobody talks about it. So then in my world, it won't exist. Well, I've decided enough of that. I'm here to call white America to task. I'm here to tell white America it's time to stand the hell up. Beside our fellow human beings, beside our fellow citizens, and it's time for white America to be part of the solution. I was raised by racists. I was taught how to be racist. So you can quit telling me that racism doesn't exist. You're a damn liar. I was raised in the belly of the beast. I was raised by racists, and now they hate me. I call that a glow up.
It's all right.
I'm not here to speak for Black America, over Black America, at Black America. I'm here to speak to and at white America, and I'm screaming, wake the hell up. White supremacy is woven into the very fabric of this country. White supremacy bleeds from every pore of this country. In schools, we have standardized testing, but we don't have standardized resources. We don't have standardized opportunities. In hospitals, a black woman is more likely to die during childbirth at a rate 3 times higher than that of a white woman. In neighborhoods, power plants and dumps are more likely to be put up by a predominantly black neighborhood than a predominantly white neighborhood. At home, 22% of Black America lives in poverty, whereas only 9% of white America lives in poverty. White America loves black music, black trends, black culture, but kills black people at a rate 2.87 times higher than that of white people by the police. All of these things will not change unless we tear down, I'm going to say that again, unless we tear down the system of white supremacy that has built them into existence. We cannot fix the current system, for it is not broken. This system is working exactly as it was intended. Passing laws will not change it. You cannot legislate morality. Black America has screamed tirelessly for decades about these injustices, while white America has turned a blind eye and a deaf ear. Well, I'm here to say no more. Change is coming. Revolution is coming. It's time to open your eyes, white America. White people make up nearly 60% of the American population, and the overwhelming majority of them refuse to even admit that racism exists. They think that there's a conspiracy against them by the government with zero evidence, but ignore the obvious systemic racism and oppression against Black America that's well documented. Well, I've made it my life's mission to call white America to task. Mr. Blake, Miss Austin, to all the families of victims of police brutality in this country, to all of those of you who wake up every day and deal with the system of white supremacy built to marginalize you, I say to you this one thing: I will stand with you. I will march with you. I will protest with you. I will fight with you. I will use my privilege and my platform to demand that white America stop ignoring this humanitarian crisis happening right here in America. So, white America, this is your choice. Either be part of the solution, or by God, you are the problem. No justice, no peace. Thank you.
This is a very powerful and brilliant speech by all standards. Racism and teaching of racism begins at a very tender age. White parents indoctrinate their children and teach them negative things about Black people. For instance, as you heard in this video, this young man's father was teaching him that Black people were violent, Black people were lazy people, Black people were not smart, and a host of others that you could think of. So these are the indoctrinations that are being given to white people in order for them to see Black people as inferior and see themselves or white people as superior to Black people. Now, his father also exhibited a very negative trait in the sense that he was preaching virtues and he was practicing vices. Why would a father tell your child that it is lazy people who are Black and they peddle drugs and do all the negative things in society, Meanwhile, in your own hall or on your own couch, you are selling marijuana to someone. Kids always observe us as parents, and they always take things that we do seriously than things that we say. It is said that action speaks louder than words, and his son was looking at his actions more than even the words that he was saying to him. Now, judgment about skin color is not the best, and a lot of white Americans do not see this because they may not be on the receiving side of racism, so they would not see that. Now, in the hospitals, he mentioned that black women, are 3 times as likely to die as that of a white woman. So it means that care and attention that is given to a white woman during labor may not be the same thing that will be given to a black woman during labor. And I think this has to stop. White people do not even acknowledge that racism even occur, in the sense that they may not be bothered because they do not feel it whenever they are going about their daily activities. They will not feel anything like that. As he made mention of examples, like let's say he going to buy a property or getting a loan or anything like that, he will not be able to feel it because he's white. But if you are black, there are a lot of challenges, a lot of tough things that you need to go through in order to get things up. He also says that police are 2.8 times likely to kill you as a black person than that of a white person involved in, let's say, peddling of marijuana or things like that. I think this is the time that racism has to cease, and we have to see ourselves as equal people, give ourselves equal opportunities, equal chances, so that a white America will not see people of black descent or black Americans to be inferior and think superior of themselves. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, just locate the subscribe button down there. Click on the subscribe button. Click as well on the notification bell. And I'd like to see you in my next video.